What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys are having a great day, and welcome to kind of a reboot of a new series. I'm finally going to be having sit down time to do once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe 3 times a week content for you guys, and I want to start it off with kind of a new comic book series. I'm always reading. I'm a huge reader of independent comics. I know a lot of you guys are Marvel, DC heavy, but me personally, Image, Boom Studios, Dark Horse Comics, all of that is my bread and butter. So I'm going to kind of break it down of what books I like to read, give you some recommendations, show you some artwork, and hopefully you enjoy this kind of revamp version of a new series. But before we go any further, each one of these videos will have a short little theme while I open my comics, talk about the new comics, depending on what's going on. And this one's just starting off with what it's like having an online comic shop. Not everybody has a comic store, collectible store near them, so you have to find a way to get your comics. I'm a big believer that reading is really important. I'm a reader over a collector first, so not everybody can do that. So for me, I do work for Rups Comics. All the details are in the descriptions. I work for them for Whatnot, eBay, everything. We represent Alex Ross, Bill Sienkiewicz, Aspen Comics, the works. So make sure to check them out. But even for me, having an LCS working for them, I still get all my comics from ABX Comics in Georgia. I live in Ohio, so that is multiple states away, so that is how I browse my comics. I use a little app called Key Collector and League of Comic Geeks. I look up Key Collector of kind of what's trending, what's coming out, what are the hot books of the week, just so I can stay on top of it. But overall, I'm a reader first, so I use League of Comic Geeks. I stay about 2 months ahead. I go through those, take pictures of my phone, and send it through Facebook. I know, I don't use Facebook for anything else but my comics. So it gives me a way to kind of browse like I'm in a comic shop, get all the ratios, the variants, everything like that I personally like to collect. So as we go through these series, we're going to talk about how it's like having an online shop, my new hauls, my new books. So hopefully you enjoy it. We're going to go top down, open this box, and check out all the new comics. There's a ton of Mark Spears. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Though we've talked about everything that this series and content is going to involve, I wanted to start it off with just showing you how everything comes boxed. Again, this will be different from shipper and supplier or comic shop, but if you do choose with ABX Comics and Games, my preferred online comic shop, all the details in the description. Like I said before, this is how they ship, all nice and safe, and then everything comes nice and bubble wrapped. They're normally in individual bags, so let's see how they come. Let's just slide these on out. These are a huge package. Like I said, I'm 2 weeks out because of San Diego Comic-Con. So normally my shipping is not this huge. We talked about spending in a little bit. This was closer to like $140 to $150 haul. Now that these are out of the bubble wrap, I can show you how these are individually bagged, and I do have my receipt right there. So $136. So like I said, that's my 2-week haul. Normally I'm a week to week basis, and I keep it under $100. Depends on the week, depends on what variants are out and everything like that. But with San Diego, fell a little bit behind, but we are all caught up now. So let's just start it off with this stack, and we're just gonna show it off as we go, and we're gonna talk about the books and everything like that. I'm going to go stack by stack. Like I said, I'm a huge reader, so some of these I'll take out, talk about the stories, show some of the interiors. Hopefully this series will let you find some new comics. So we have Dark Horse Comics issue number 3, Huck, A Big Bad World from Mark Millar, Raphael Albuquerque. This series has been great. I enjoyed the first volume. I like all the Mark Millar stuff. I'm actually trying to reread some of it through trade right now, but this has been a great series, so we'll see how it goes. Speaking of a great series, I'm pulling all the Spawn stuff besides a couple of the random tie-ins, but we have Scorched issue number 43, went with the Bjorn Abendez cover. Shout out to him. Actually followed me on Instagram a week or 2 ago, so love that. So got this with issue number 43. Been a great tie-in story to the main Spawn universe. Speaking of great books, Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 19 went with this Mary Jane variant. What is this coming to end at issue number like 25 or 26? So curious to see what they're going to do with all the Ultimate stuff, but this is by far the best Marvel book on the racks. If you're kind of missing out on some Spider-Man goodness, definitely check out Ultimate Spider-Man. And then we'll continue with the Ultimate Universe. The Ultimates issue number 14. This one is great. It's kind of like the glue holding all the other stuff together. There's multiple first appearances throughout this story. It's been a little up and down slow, but like I said, it's just building all that story, backstory. So this has been great. Curious to see how all those characters are going to tie in. Issue number 3, Battle Beast. already read this, but I'm collecting all the 1 in 10 variants. All these are going to be a connecting cover. And this is one, like I said, I'm gonna open some of the interiors because if you have not seen some of this Battle Beast interiors by Ryan Ottley, it is just off the chain, especially this issue, flying through space. Hang on, let me get to that panel. Look at that. Absolutely phenomenal. Love me some Invincible, shattering his head through the ship, biting him. One of my favorite books right now. So if you have not checked out Battle Beast, definitely check it out. Blind bags were crazy, brought a lot of new fans to the series, so I love that. And then Mark Spears, you guys know I'm all in on everything Mark Spears. Got the Vampirella Armageddon. So thankful my shop was able to get this. I know they were having some issues with Dynamite. There's supposed to be a big lithograph that came with this, but it got canceled or was unavailable. But all the Mark Spears guys on the Vampirella Armageddon. And then I always like to pick up the 1 in 10s if I can. Cover price, you know, 1 in 10s. Sometimes I go for the 1 in 25s and 1 in 50s. But this is Demora, Gargoyles, Mark Spears variant, that 1 in 10 with the red eyes. Absolutely gorgeous. So that's that stack. Let's get into some of the other books. Right, this was a huge week for Mark Spears Monsters. I totally forgot. I picked up a couple of the reprints and then I had my order split up. So here is all the main covers for issue number 6. But we have issue number 3, one of the reprints. Something wicked this comes way. If you guys are missing out on reading Monsters, phenomenal story and the covers match the interiors. So excited for that. Plenty of Mark Spears stuff coming up. Kickstarter, let's see, the blind bags, just so much Mark Spears. I'm so excited. Now we have the Goldman main cover, issue number 6. We got some Mummy goodness, issue number 6. Our girl, a Vampirella, issue number 6, and then this was the one that was tough to find. I know a lot of shops didn't get these in. Mark Spears Monsters, the blank. I can't wait to do something phenomenal with this. I wonder if it's a wraparound, but still, the blanks are super hard to come by. Shout out Charles Soule, Ryan Brown. I know they had some medical issues. If you follow them on IG, I think, I forget who it was, if it was Ryan or Charles, but they were having some medical issues, so this book was delayed a little bit. I actually just reread the entire series of 8 Billion Genies, one of my favorite books. So happy this came out. There's some tie-ins with 8 Billion Genies, so Lucky Devils, Cursed Worlds, 8 Billion Genies. I read everything from these guys. If you're into some dark humor, this book is definitely for you. And then I think this is the last issue, DC versus Sonic, or DC Sonic the Hedgehog. Been enjoying the series. I'm normally not a Sonic guy, but I really like the crossover cover, so I read the whole series and collected it. All right, I guess there was one more Mark Spears hiding in this. I totally forgot that I got the foil as well. Foils are always super dark to show up on camera, but in hand, this looks immaculate. So more Vampirella Monsters crossover, issue number 1. I'm gonna take this one out right off the rip. This has been my problem with Godzilla. I'm a huge Godzilla collector. I'm a huge kaiju fan. Let's just see. It looks okay. I guess it looks okay. So my thing with Godzilla lately is it's been very cartoony. The covers all look amazing. I went with, I think this is the Art Adams cover, but all the interiors have been super like cartoony or whatever, but I just want kind of like a more mature adult version of Godzilla. I know it's for the kids, but man, looking forward to this. New number 1, Godzilla, Tim Seeley, and then I forget who does the artwork on inside. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. You know, I collect all the Jenny Frison stuff. I finally just got up to 2 short boxes of her. Jenny Frison, Emma Frost, White Queen. Absolutely immaculate. I love getting all these signed. So don't read this series, but any Jenny cover I'm always gonna collect. The Curse of Shirley Johnson. This is like the one tie-in besides like Scorch, King Spawn, Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, everything. This is the one tie-in I'm sticking with. Got the Dan Panosian cover. The Curse of Shirley Johnson. Jonathan Glapion interiors are phenomenal, and issue number 1 was wild. So if you're unfamiliar with Curse of Shirley Johnson, she was actually taken out, if you will, in issue number 6 of Spawn. That's why they had those reprints. So that was kind of her origin story with Billy Kincaid. So if you missed out on that, check this out. Definitely love this book. And then just some more Battle Beast. I'm collecting all the covers, so of course you had to get the Ryan Otley main cover. Like I said, now that we have it out, I can just kind of flip through it. And like I said, it's kind of like the black, white, and blood version, but I thought the entire book, I thought it was just the preview version that was going to be black and white like that. So we'll see. We're going to stick with it. At least I got a great cover, and I'm not sure how many issues it is. But last, I'm always current with the Marvel Rivals books. I still play it here and there, but not as big as when it came out. But I'm a massive, massive gamer, so I'm always going to collect the Marvel Rivals stuff, have an entire short box of it, Jeff the Land Shark in his alternate costume. So that was the entire haul. This is going to be a weekly series, and if you guys collect comics, this is going to be for you. I'm always going to have some recommendations. I read a ton of independent titles. I read a ton of Absolute, Ultimate Universe, and I'm always trying to collect some awesome covers as well. But the biggest thing I want to do with this series is just show off my hauls and hopefully help you guys, because I know not everybody is able to have a comic shop in their area. But even if you don't have a comic shop in your area, even though I work for Rups Comics, represent them in Fremont, Ohio on Whatnot and eBay and all that, I still use an online comic shop because they don't get enough variants and ratios and things like that. And like I said, I read a lot of random Image, Boom Studios, Dynamite, things like that, that not all comic shops can order. So if you're interested, check out ABX. We talked about their system in a little bit in the beginning. And if you like this series, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I have a ton of San Diego, New York Comic Con, Heroes Con footage. We're going to be going to Cincinnati Comic Con coming up shortly, and then we'll be back at New York Comic Con. So make sure you guys follow all that. Check out my IG. Stay legendary. Have a great day. But as always, I hope you guys find what you're looking for, and I hope this is a good read. Later, guys.